This week we read Axes and O's by Kayla Grosse. Picture being snowed in with a pair of loggers who look like they've stepped right out of your steamiest daydreams. Just picture that, guys. Nathan Clark didn't plan on crashing his car and winding up at Fox and Morgan Malone's cabin, but here he is, stranded with a married couple just days before Christmas. They're eyeing him like he's the perfect tree to climb. Fox, with his tattooed, rugged allure, and Morgan, with her sweet and sultry charm, are making Nathan question everything he thought he knew about himself. It might have started with a simple offer to stay warm, but now Nathan's facing a proposition that could change his life forever. This Christmas, Fox and Morgan are ready to swing their axes, and Nathan's about to find out just how deep their roots run. Axes and O's is a high heat MMF snowed in lumbersnack holiday romance. What to expect in this book, which is toy play, so much oral, dominance, submission, bondage, rough sex, polyamorous relationships, primal play, fisting, sword crossing, humiliation slash derogatory language, light discussion of the foster care system and PTSD, and discussions of sexuality.
The dedication for this book is dedicated to anyone who's ever looked at a person in flannel holding an axe and said, yeah, I'd let them split me in half.
Fair point. Honestly fair. What a beach.
Hello.
I don't know why I said it that way.
No idea.
How goes it?
It goes.
Yeah,
It goes.
it goes. Well, that's good. I'm glad.
It's always, I'm a little irritated that I had to
When
mix
are
that
you
up.
not irritated? I'm just
Listen,
kidding.
today was a whole vibe. I was
Yeah.
I was done with my job at about 8:15.
Don't you start at like early? I don't know what time.
7:25. Kids
I was
kids get
gonna
off the
say,
bus at 7:25.
I was literally gonna say, don't you start at 8? And then I realized that no, I
I'm
don't
there.
actually know.
I, as an adult, is in there before that, but the kids get off the bus at 7:25.
Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
All of that sounds horrible.
But my first session, like one-on-one or group session, starts at 8:10
Nope. So you
because
5 minutes in?
Uh-huh.
Solid.
Yeah.
I did nothing today. Well, I did some things today, but not really. I washed my bedding, and that's
Sounds
it.
good. I mean, that's kind of important.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was kind of
My
mean
body's
today.
been, you were kind of mean today. When
Uh-huh.
aren't you mean? You're saying these things as if these are not actual things that happen every single day.
I told a child that their behavior wasn't cute and that they
It
needed to
wasn't
stop.
demure.
Cute. No. I said, you are too old for this. This is not cute. Fix this and act your age.
I'm drinking tea right now, so I guess we're just gonna take a sip of tea. Whoops.
I'm eating carrots because I needed something to chop on.
So Ariel's aggressive. Ariel's really aggressive. And you know what else is good for chopping? Our lumber snack month.
I'm snacking through lumber snacks. Make way for the rest of the episode. Make
While that is my
way for
favorite,
Crystal.
while that is my favorite Disney movie, I, you know what it is? I don't know. Jasmine's my favorite princess of all time. And I was never allowed to dress up as her as a kid. I also can't really dress up as her as an adult. I think that might be cultural appropriation now. But I could not dress up as her as a kid because I didn't have money to dress up as a Disney princess when I was a child. And I'm really sad about that. I'm very sad that I missed that opportunity.
I agree, though. Instead of having like a 21st birthday party, we need to have a
I want a prince.
21st birthday party, friendship birthday party, and we need to be princesses and have a whole
I
thing.
have an idea.
We could do it in
In
Disney
five
and everything.
in 5 years, we turn 40.
I didn't want to wait that long. I wanted to do it in September.
Oh, okay. So we can have a joint 35th birthday party in September, and we'll be
I was just saying
princesses.
it's our 21st birthday party of
Okay.
our the birthday of our
Oh,
friendship.
that's right. I was thinking actual birthdays, but now,
Yeah.
now that you say that part, let's
And if
do
we
it.
like it a lot, we can just do it again when we're 40.
Yeah. Because you can't dress up as actual princesses in Disney, they'll kick you out. But you can do Disney bounding, which is basically dressing as
I don't
close
want to
to a
go to
prin.
Disney anymore. We can just do it together and we can have our own thing.
We should still go to Disney.
Maybe, but I want to dress up like a princess.
Yeah. Mm, yeah, you'll get kicked out of Disney. They don't let you do that. It's
Don't you
you can
sew?
yeah.
Can't you make me a dress?
I have a pattern. I
I
just
know. I
need
thought
your
you bought one.
sizes. I
Okay,
know, but I need your
I will
sizes.
measure me. I will try to measure me. Maybe the next time you're here, you can measure me.
Yeah. I'll measure you, Ariel.
Mm.
So we're gonna further our star-crossed. So are we gonna continue this love story?
I'll take your IUD out while you measure me.
Oh God.
All right. Anyhow,
This is really a friendship to lovers romance you guys are witnessing in real time now. Anyways, welcome to Lumber Snack April. And yes,
starting strong.
really, we really and truly did name it that because we decided why not have a lumberjack themed month this month? Because this is our podcast and we can do whatever we want. And we were struggling to decide what we were going to do this month. Anyways,
And
last
lumber
year we
snacks
started
sounded
out
good.
yeah, last year we started it out with doing an April Fool's for which was really fun. Now, here's the thing. Ariel texted me and she goes, "Oh, this is a holiday romance. Bitch, didn't you pick this?
Yep.
Did you not read the description?"
Nope.
Okay, because as soon as I read the description, I was confused as to how you did not realize that this was a holiday romance.
So this was a book that we had both looked at and we were like, ooh, we want to read this. But I don't remember why we put it aside. And that's
Now you
probably
do.
why we put it aside. But I had put it on a list of books that we liked and we put aside. And I just saw Lumber Snacks and I was like, fabulous. Sounds great.
I just need you all to know that I thought it was funny because I was like, how did you not know that this it literally is in the description? Anyways, so this book opens with actually Morgan's mulled wine recipe. And honestly, I actually contemplated making it, but I did not have enough time today to do that. So I did not. But it looks delicious, and maybe I'll try it further down the road and let y'all know if it's good at all. It also comes with an unhinged playlist, which is also fantastic. And that's literally what it's labeled is unhinged playlist, which is so great. So we open dun cinematic, but not really. With a chapter labeled Hunter. The Hunter. The Hunter? Doom. And this hunter is currently chasing down a woman. He is a predator, cunning, ready to devour his meal, and she does not stand a chance. And that's how it opens. But then, do, we get Nathan. Yes, my dear.
So listen, I had to finish my carrot. So I was a little confused at first. Okay.
So wasn't I. I was like, what are we reading?
And I'm not proud of myself in the moment that I had because often in my house,
Where are you
we
going with this?
I'm not proud to admit this. Often in my house, we tend to read together. Not the same book, but just like side by side, like, after everything shuts down, all the electronics in my house shut down at 6:30. So we tend to just kind of read. So whether we're just like chilling on the couch reading together or like you pick a spot in the house and we just kind of read together, we'll read together. And I had started this book during one of those times. And audibly, my dumbass said out loud, why is this man, why is hunting making this man horny? Because I genuinely got confused for a second. And so my kid was like, what the fuck? And so I, even more of a dumbass, read, hold on, please hold.
I love you so much.
I'm stupid, I know.
I didn't say that. You said that. I did not say that.
I said, this is what I read to my child out loud, like a dumbass. I said, the night is eerily quiet, the newly fallen snow dampening the sounds of Mother Nature, requiring me to call upon every ounce of training ingrained in my body, so I have an element of surprise when I catch my prize. Snap. The heated blood pumping through my veins rushes straight to my cock, and the corners of my mouth tug up. Gotcha, little lamb. And he reasonably said, what the actual fuck? And then was like, fucking peace out, Girl Scout. Peace out, Girl Scout.
Oh,
And
Butterscotch.
and then I got to the next
Ariel, why would
page
you read that out loud?
because I thought it was like an actual hunter for a second. It was a lamb and a
We're reading
hunter.
a romance book.
I got confused. And it wasn't until
Uh,
like the next page and I was like, oh, fuck my life. Okay.
when I started the book, I was like, oh, okay, so we are continuing Ariel's love and obsession of people being chased through the woods.
Yes.
I did not go to
And
actual Hunter
I did,
at all. And I don't know what
but
that says about the two of us now.
I think my kid understood it better than me because at the
Hmm.
doorway, he turned and went, I read regular smut like normal people, Mom. Why is this my life?
Well, you chose it. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, but then we get Nathan. And he is currently at work with his shit bag of a manager, Kathy. We can't hold our shit together right now.
Okay,
Anyways, and
listen, I'm going to spoil something,
oh
but
God,
I
what?
genuinely thought Kathy was going to come back
Oh
around.
my God, me too.
And I'm so mad slash sad she didn't.
I'm not, but I didn't like her. I thought it was going that way, and it obviously
I
did
thought it was
not.
going to go
But
somewhere. Yeah.
no. Anyways, so
I
Kathy,
want
and
to
she's
know why she's
asking.
such a bitch.
She probably needs to get laid and probably needs to be chased in the forest by a hunter that is apparently actually hunting. Anyways, she's asking if he had gotten the email because he needs to proofread the presentation. And like he keeps proofreading this, but she keeps sending him stuff back like with one space. You left a space in here and saying that he needs to fix it. I would fucking murder this bitch. I don't even care. I would, yeah. And saying that, and Nathan, he is fucking tired. He is overworked. He should be on Christmas vacation by now, but no, he instead is currently stuck here with fucking Kathy until she lets him leave. She tells him that he never emailed back over anything for her to do a final proof of. So he does. And then he texts his sister Lindsay. And I will say, I actually do appreciate, weirdly enough, the actual screenshot of a text message. I kind of dug it. Because you know how some people like write it out? This was like literally like an iMessage in the Kindle book.
The fucking text messages were amazing in this
I loved
book.
it.
Loved it. Listen, I'm all here. I celebrate when the text bubbles come up and they are done nicely in a book. But when this came up, I was like,
I know. I was like, oh, it looks
I
like it's,
almost spoiled it for you and sent you a picture because I was like that. I held back for you because
we
I
were like
just,
4 pages in, so you
I
could have
know,
done it.
but it was that amazing.
Yeah, it was great. But he's
I
texting.
just didn't want to rob you the opportunity of seeing it. Like,
Oh,
you
gotcha.
know,
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So he texts his sister Lindsay, letting her know that he is going to be getting in late tonight because of a stupid manager. And his sister says, "No worries. Also, be careful because of all the snow. Just let me know when you're on your way. Also, you should quit your soul sucking job." Now, Nathan has debated quitting over the last year, and he, by the way, works in marketing, and he's like especially thought about it in the last few months, but he does not know what the fuck crawled up Kathy's butt, and she's just been so much worse lately. He opens up the email that Kathy sent him again, and it's another one missing a fucking space, and he sends it back and gathers up his stuff. And Kathy stops him and says, "Where are you going?" And he tells her, "I am going home." Kathy says, "I have something else for you to look at." He tells her, "No." Kathy basically threatens him and says, "I'm going to have to tell Mr. Brentmore about this if you leave now." And Nathan does what I'm sure some of us would want to do in the moment, but don't. And he just tells her, "I quit." And then he leaves. And then he does what I do when I do something dramatic and I internally freak out about it. And he goes, "Oh my God, I
That's
just quit my
because you
job."
have an inner monologue.
I do, which we have learned
I'm
some people
never letting
don't.
this fucking go. Also, I've learned further into this. I think that he just has a limited version because he says he does have memories come up and he
That's
can
not the
recall
same as an
shit.
inner monologue.
Right. But it's not the same as having nothing either.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. But still,
And he
your
says
child's
they're kind
weird.
of pretty, yeah.
So the next chapter is in the perspective of the prey. And this is coinciding with the very first chapter. And the prey knows that the fox heard her. And now she has no choice but to run again. And she takes off as quietly as she can. And she comes to an abrupt stop when she reaches a fork in the trail. And she could go right and head towards the hunting cabin, but she doesn't know if she'd make it that far. And honestly, she doesn't even think she wants to make it that far. And all of a sudden, the fox is on her and tells her, "I can hear you thinking, little lamb, and if you run again, I will show you no mercy when I catch you." She turns her head over her shoulders and says, "Who says you'll catch me?" And then she heads off. So we have a bit of a side story going on top of the main story. Now, listen, Nathan's sister had told him, "Okay," and warned him that snow was coming down. And remember,
Okay.
his sister had told him to be careful, and he realizes his sister was not kidding.
Mm.
And it's so it's not downpouring because that's for rain, but it's snowing really, really, really bad. It's basically like downpouring, but for snow. So you're welcome.
Crystal wouldn't know these things because she's in Florida.
I
You've
I
been gone too
spent
long.
31 years living in the snow.
You've been
Let
gone
me
too long.
enjoy. No, I was just there in December and it snowed. Jesus fucking, and it was like negative bajillion degrees, okay? Listen, okay? But it is
I was
really
actually
bad.
super excited when it rained today because it snowed every single fucking day until today and then it rained. So I was like, oh,
Yeah,
yes.
that sucks. It's also snowing on this mountain that this dude is driving over. So he is starting to head towards Starlight Haven, which is about a 4 hour drive from his office. And he is starting his descent into the mountain. And it's just getting heavier and heavier. And listen, he only goes to the mountains to see his family. So this is like super great for people who ski. Not so much for him. He hates this. And now he's
I
just like,
wish that we got more of an inside look into Starlight Haven because it sounded kind of
samesies.
like Stars Hollow, like how
I
Gilmore
wonder,
Girls would
I
be, and I
wonder
want to know
if it's
more.
included with the other books because this is a series.
Yeah,
It
but
has,
there's only like one other one out, right?
I don't, I don't know. I just
I'll
work
look at
here.
it while you read. I mean,
I just,
while you
I
talk.
just work here, Ariel.
I don't even work here.
I barely work here. And he's just thinking about the fact that he turned 28 this year. And now that he thinks about it, his life is kind of boring. Even though he did it to himself, he has a routine and he also just like wishes sometimes he could have a woman at home. But the more he thinks about it, the more he realizes that every relationship that he starts just ends. And it's not because, why are you pouting?
The second one doesn't come out till July.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Interesting.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
This is not Fergie, okay? We're not Fergie Ferg. Okay, get the fuck.
Fergalicious definition make them boys.
Boys go loco. Anyways, and it's not because any of the women have done anything wrong. He just always feels like something is missing. Something in the relationship is missing, something with sex is missing, and he doesn't know exactly what it is. We know what it is. And it has nothing to do with the woman. He knows that, like, it's in his head. So he takes a nice deep breath. Hafoosh. Yeah, hafoosh.
Maybe I need a polyamorous relationship.
Maybe you would have to talk to people. I don't think that that is your thing. I
Never
don't
mind.
think that's what's missing in your life, Ariel.
Never mind.
No, because his car
That's more
starts to,
people.
yeah, yeah. He takes a nice deep breath because his car starts to swerve a little bit because the road is icy and wet. He takes a look at his phone and realizes that he still has about an hour left to go until he reaches his sister's house. Christmas music is playing, and this is also going to be the second Christmas without his dad. His dad passed away. There you go. As he is listening, as he is listening to the radio, a lady pops on and says, "A white Christmas is indeed happening for the people of Starlight Haven. Looks like snow is going to keep coming down for the next few days." And of course, all he can think is, fucking Kathy. If she had not kept him at the fucking office, he could have left when it was safer for him to do so. And now he's driving in the dark in this god awful snowstorm. He is slowly making his way, and he realizes he is definitely in the fucking woods. And according to his GPS, he's about to hit the peak of the mountain, but it's still going to be an hour till he gets to his sister's house. And it's just dark. Yep,
Isn't it
you
about a
see?
half hour now?
Maybe. Who fucking knows?
I thought
I
when he
thought
got
it
to the
said,
peak, it was about a half hour.
I know, but I thought it said hour, but maybe I'm just stupid, which is entirely possible because
No,
I am
I
a
wasn't
lot.
taking notes. So,
You're fine. I'll double check it on our break. But he pushes his foot to accelerate up the incline and he looks over at his phone again and realizes his phone is dead now, which sucks, by the way. And he
and
starts,
who doesn't plug it in when they're using the GPS and shit?
thank you. Well, he does say the
Is it
reason he
is it because
didn't
he's
is
a
because
dumb
he was
man?
in a rush. It
I
is, he
know,
said he was in a
but
rush, but still, yes, that is the first thing I do when I get my car. He
yeah.
knows that the road will take him straight into Starlight Haven, but after that, he has no idea where the fuck he's going. And with it being late, nothing's going to be open, which means he's going to have to pull over and plug his phone in. And he knows that he should have done
'Cause
it
the
earlier, but
GPS
he
uses a shit
wasn't.
ton.
Yeah, but he wasn't thinking. So now he's trying to debate if there's a good place to pull over. And then he realizes, oh shit, I haven't even seen a single soul on the road. Well, no shit. You're going to the top of a goddamn mountain in the middle of the night in the snowstorm. I don't know where you think these people are, but they don't exist. But it's really not a good thing. Then all of a sudden, his car vibrates. And then there's more grinding, and then everything happens in slow motion. I don't know what you are doing.
My London, London. Yeah,
Good.
like
Good God. And he is completely spinning out. His car starts spinning. Those are the sound effects today, guys. You're welcome. He tries to put on the gas again, but nothing. So he is hoping, hopefully his car is still good to drive. But he's going to get out and check on it. Of course, it's fucking freezing. And when he walks around to the back of the car, he sees that the back chains that he had put on his tires had snapped and are useless. At this point, he's just trying to ignore how fucking cold it is. And when he stands up, he gets spots in his vision. And actually turns out he did hit his head while his car was spinning out. And now he's bleeding. And he's trying to tell himself, like, come on, let's get back in the car. And then all of a sudden his ears are ringing and his eyes like just shut and he falls into the snow. And he thinks, wow, okay, so this is how it ends. And he starts like thinking of his sister. He goes, oh wow, your life really does flash before your eyes when you're dying, huh? And he hears a noise and it's a twig breaking. And he's like, all of a sudden, he's like talking to his sister. He's like thinking it's his sister there. And Lindsay says, stay with me, because Lindsay's his sister, by the way. But it's not her voice. It's kind of huskier. And he goes, I am staying. And the voice just says, good to hear. And it's a male voice. Now, all of a sudden, the beach starts to fade because he was sitting on a beach with his sister. And his body goes cold and he sees the face of an angel. And she just says, I'm here to help you. And he goes, to die? I laughed at that, by the way. I'm here to help you. What, to die? And the voice says, "Not if we have anything to say about it." And he goes, "We," in his head. He doesn't say it out loud. "We." And then everything goes dark. And when he wakes up, he is absolutely fucking sweating to death. And he's thinking, like, I was at a beach. No, no, I was driving. And then it was really cold. And then everything hits him all at once about what had happened. Car spinning out, tires, everything, blah, blah, blah. And he just thinks to himself, where the fuck am I? And he looks around the room and the overhead light is off, but there's a small lamp on the bedside table for him. And the room itself isn't super big, but it's kind of nice and woodsy. He jolts out of bed and he realizes, I am naked. What the hell? And he's trying to look around the room to see if like any signs of his clothing, but he doesn't see any. And he's thinking, who the fuck found me? Like, are they like crazy wood people? No, but that's just mean to think that they're crazy wood people and murderers. Like, they took the time to rescue me from the
They
storm.
are crazy wood people
I mean, kind
with
of.
crazy wood.
He does see that there is a glass of water on the bedside table. So he picks it up, takes a drink, and he decides he's going to get up and find something to put clothes on. He's also panicking because he realizes, fuck, I gotta tell Lindsay, like, what happened. While he does not find his own clothes, he does find a pair of flannel pajamas. So he puts those on and walks to the bedroom door. And it's not completely closed, which means whoever put him in there left it ajar. And when he opens it, he's faced with a hallway, and all the lights are off, but there's enough light that he can walk through. He heads down to a living space, and there is a door at the end of the hallway that is cracked a little bit. Keep that cracked door in mind, folks. Do 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 do. But he's not going to go in there right now. He goes to the living room and there's a giant flat screen TV, nice couch, fire lit, still not seeing a fucking single person. Heads to the kitchen and he sees a picture on the fridge. This picture, by the way, kills me. And it is a magnet that says, I pine for you. Pine, by the way. And it is, I think that's how you spell it, anyways. But like in the tree form. Like it means they're meaning it for tree. Okay. And it's a naked woman straddling a giant tree trunk.
It's a play on words. It doesn't mean they have to be spelled
That's what I
differently.
meant. I know. Sometimes they are. My brain just shut off for about 5 seconds. By the way, fucking absolutely hysterical that it is just a naked woman straddling a tree. And he's looking at it and he kind of feels a little bit perverted for even thinking about it. Because he's like trying to touch it. And then he goes, oof, probably not a guy. The picture. Okay. And then all of a sudden, he hears a loud cry through the air. And he's thinking, where the fuck did that come from? And then he realizes it came down from the hallway. And then another cry happens, followed by a slap. Before he can really figure out what he's doing, he is walking down the hallway towards that noise. And he can tell that this cry is definitely more feminine. And it's not actually like a concerning cry. He looks through the cracked door, and the first things he sees is a giant fire and a ball gag on the floor. And there is something he can only describe as
That
a
should be your cue
stockade.
to walk away, man.
If that was not the cue, then the other cue is that he sees something that he can only describe as a stockade or a strange type of massage table. It has a place for someone's legs, stomach, arms, and even their face. But he says that is not the most bizarre part. Like, behind it is a low stand with a large silicone cock protruding from it. It's like a fuck machine. Anyways, and his eyes widen and he forgets that his head is still hurting. And then he sees a woman getting nailed from behind by a man. And he is just staring. And he
Give
thinks
it
that,
to me,
like,
baby.
uh-huh, uh-huh. And he thinks that he should be disgusted with everything going on because this man is like, his name is Fox, by the way, is calling her like a whore and calling her needy and really like dirty talking this bitch. But then he realizes like he's also kind of like not disgusted with what's going on right now. And like he doesn't even want to step in to ask if she needs any help. Maybe they would have accepted the help. Let's be honest here. And he's also kind of getting a bit of a physical reaction to what is happening and he's getting an erection, guys. That's what's happening. And then he starts to palm himself in his pants and he's thinking like, oh, the moment that's happening, like what the fuck and like the depravity of it all and the way she's looking at him and he goes, "Oh wait. The way that she is looking at me, because she is staring him in his eyeballs. We just did the same motion at the same time. And he blinks, and she quite literally knows that he is watching them. And he's a little bit embarrassed, and he does the only thing that he can think of, and he turns and runs away. Morgan tells Fox, I told you that he was going to wake up. And Fox talks back and says, you also told me that you would be quiet if I took your gag out. So the couple that he was watching is Fox and Morgan. And Morgan says that they need to stop him before he hurts himself because they hear him fucking fall as he's running away. And they want to get to him before he actually starts running out of the house into the snow. So Morgan grabs a silk robe and some underwear and she wipes her husband's cum from between her legs because now she's dripping out. And also throws Fox a shirt and they go out to find this man. They find him in the kitchen. They greet him, and his head snaps at the same time that Fox stands beside Morgan. Nathan tells them that they are snowed in. Just he goes, we're snowed in. And Fox just checks and he goes, I'm not lying. And Fox, they're like, it's fine, bro. Chill. And he turns towards Morgan and Fox doesn't look worried at all. Morgan lets Nathan know that, well, our generator's working fine. They're prepared. They're going to sit and talk. They're going to talk a little bit with Nathan. Fox says that he will make some coffee. Fox, by the way, does not talk much. He says very few words. It is like if anyone has watched The
Me,
Office,
Fox. Me, caveman.
Morgan decides to ask some questions, but Nathan does first ask about his phone, and they let him know that they didn't see one. They were more concerned about, like, his life. And they turned off the car, grabbed the keys. Nathan let them know that his sister lives in Starlight Haven, about 30 minutes north of town center. So they are going to radio the sheriff so that they can let his sister know that he is okay. Morgan starts asking how he's feeling, and Nathan just gets right to the point and says, who are you? Which is a very valid question to ask. Morgan says that, well, I'm Morgan, the other guy who went to go get the two radio the sheriff. That's my husband, Fox. I know, it's an odd name, but the more you get to know him, the more you know that it fits. And it is his actual name, not a nickname. Morgan then apologizes for what he saw and says, look, I should have been there when you woke up to explain what happened. I did not mean for you to see that. And Nathan realizes that she's kind of smiling and he goes, I don't think that's true. And she's kind of taken a little aback, and they're both kind of shocked that he said that. Because Nathan's now getting more of a backbone. Ever since he stood up to that bitch Kathy, he's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. We're just gonna like fucking go at it. We're good. Morgan says, look, I really didn't mean for you to see it. Nathan asks, how is he like physically there now? Morgan says that Fox and her were out looking for a Christmas tree. And she just happened to see the lights of his car and got curious. So, but she is so glad that she did because had they not come along, he probably would be dead. Nathan doesn't really believe that they were looking for a Christmas tree, especially since she paused a little bit when she was describing this, but she kind of is just like, look, like we're a little late decorating this year and we enjoyed the snow and thought it would just be festive. But, whatever. They got off to a strange start, but Morgan promises that he is safe there. Her husband and her are well known in the community. They own a business with employees, have friends, and like they are prepared for storms. And they own a lumber company in Starlight Haven. And the reason she knows how to take care of people who are injured, especially when they have a concussion, because he potentially had a concussion, is like people can get hurt on the job during harvesting and other projects. So he's not the first person that they've had to care for. Nathan tells her,
Can I use that shit? I have friends. I work at the local school. Like, you can trust me.
right? Like we know people.
I mean, I don't really know people, but
Yeah. Nathan
I
tells her,
purposely don't know people.
yeah. Nathan tells her, I woke up naked. And she goes, well, if there was another way to warm you up without removing your wet ass clothes, we would have. But they were wet. I mean, we were as respectful as we could be. But like I said, had we not found you, when we did, let's just say your body was very cold and we had to get you warm gradually and out of your wet clothes. And then we put you on the bed and we used warm compresses on your body. But whatever. But it's getting late. So she says, we'll talk in the morning or I guess afternoon because it's really late. He takes some pills that she gives him for the pain and he finally gets a really good look at her. He is a little bit shorter than her, but not by very much, and he is taking in all her looks and he hears a throat clearing behind him, and it's Fox. Morgan asks if he had gotten a hold of the sheriff, and Fox says yes, the sheriff got in touch with Nathan's sister and will radio them back later. Thankfully, everything in town seems to be working okay, including the power grids, and basically they're just getting the worst of it because they're at the highest peak. Nathan does thank them for rescuing him, and he heads back into the bedroom. Morgan is insisting that Fox needs to sleep, but Fox says that he needs to shovel before they're completely trapped in. But Morgan is like not having any of this, and she is trying to be so persuasive to get him back into bed, but he can't shut off his brain. And he really needs to go out and take care of the snow. But he also wants her to lock the doors because he doesn't really trust other men. Morgan's trying to reassure him that he is harmless. And he instead gets on the mattress and wraps his hand around her throat, which, by the way, he has the letters mine inked onto his knuckles. Yeah. And she does agree, by the way, to lock the doors. And she asks, "Oh, yeah?" And she asks him, what does she get if she listens?" And Fox says, "You get to continue wearing clothes in front of our guest." He assures her that he will be back as soon as he can and he will use the key to get back in if she's sleeping. Nathan, the next morning, wakens to a thwacking going on outside. Turns out it's Morgan chopping wood. And he is just staring at her and realizes she is so strong, like a Greek goddess. And she is the type of woman that make men bow down. Yeah, they do. And the kind that deserves to be treasured. And he's kind of getting turned on watching her chop wood. And then there is just a knock on his door, and it's Fox telling him it's getting late. You need to eat. Fox only talks in very, very short sentences, by the way. It's demanding in his tone, not actually
Would you really call them
ask.
sentences?
No. I mean, they have periods at the end, so maybe it's a sentence. It's a short sentence.
Sentences usually require things like nouns and verbs and
Well, not in his brain, I guess. Nathan
maybe
debates.
short phrases,
Yeah. Nathan debates going back to the window to see if Morgan is still outside so he doesn't have to sit with her
strings of
husband.
words.
Yeah. But he decides to get himself together, and a fox apparently cooks for him.
Did you say
When
a
he,
fox cooks for him?
I said, Aunt Fox cooks for
Oh,
him, apparently. His sister is going to fucking flip when he tells her that he stayed with real lumber people. He calls them lumber people. I'm just going to switch that out right now, which is so funny. Lumber
he was
people.
trying to be kind and politically correct.
He was. That is not what they like to be called, though.
They're lumber
Anyways,
snacks.
they're loggers, but yes, lumber snacks. Fox, meanwhile, is in the kitchen preparing cinnamon buns, which is funny. I love that for him.
He's
They're
gonna
not
drizzle
homemade.
that. No, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're not homemade, but they are Morgan's favorites. And she had insisted to go chop wood since Fox was up shoveling snow. So he decided to make himself useful in the kitchen. He finishes putting icing on the rolls. He is icing those rolls. And he can hear Nathan getting ready in the
With
bathroom. And he's
what?
pretty sure that Nathan is taking his sweet time because he knows that Fox makes him nervous. Because Fox understands he is a 6'5" man and he just always has a permanent scowl on his face. And he can continue hearing Morgan chopping wood outside. And while it did not have to be done right now, like the chopping of the wood, but Morgan woke up needing to work out some steam. And granted, he would have much preferred that she got her energy out by sitting on his cock, but he knows that she wants to be more respectful with Nathan there. Fox has other ideas. Because Nathan is stuck there until the plows can clear the road, and Fox is not going to keep his hands off of his wife in his own home. And he knows that even though Nathan was shocked, he definitely enjoyed what he saw. So Fox also saw Nathan looking in while they were fucking. Both of these people can really sense that Nathan was really interested in what the fuck was going on behind that
Well,
door.
that's who Nathan originally locked eyes with through the door, was
Ugh.
Fox. And that's why he was like, oh, why do I feel this way? This is weird.
Nathan finally comes down and Fox tells him to sit. And Nathan just blinks at him, but does it anyways. Fox notices little things about Nathan, and he knew that he was attracted to Morgan, but he couldn't be sure if Nathan was interested in Fox beyond curiosity or fear, or maybe both. And having his eyes on Fox while he fucked his wife was one thing, but the reaction that this man just had after commanding him to sit, his ears got red. I mean, he's being a little demandy. It's cute. But he tells Nathan to eat, and Nathan asks if he only speaks in short commands. Fox informs him that he speaks when he needs to. Then Nathan says, I saw Morgan outside. And then he asks if the sheriff got a hold of his sister. Fox tells him, yeah, they also made the city aware of his car on the side of the road. Fox continues to eat. Morgan does what he can't, and she reassures Nathan that everything is going to be fine. So Morgan finishes her chopping, comes inside. But Fox can't shake this feeling in his gut that he had the first time he saw Nathan, and it just keeps growing the more he catches Nathan looking at them. And it was one of the reasons that compelled him to leave the door open beyond his own curiosity. And he's thinking that Nathan could be the partner that they have been wanting. And it seems that him and Morgan both get this idea at the exact same time.
That
And
escalated real fast.
it really did. I mean, we had to. And he's already established that Morgan likes Nathan and Nathan likes Morgan. And there's a little bit of interest in Fox himself, whether he recognizes it or not. So they start up the conversation again. Morgan asks Nathan to tell them about himself. And he says, honestly, there's really not much to tell. Morgan says, I'm sure there's plenty, like how you ended up in a snowbank near our property line. And Fox just says it's because he had the wrong chains on his tire. And Nathan tries to argue back and says, no, I did not. And Fox is like, you did. Your chains were not meant for your car, and you should sue the guy who put them on. And Nathan says, you sure? He's being so fucking sassy. And Fox just like starts to run his fingers over his own beard. And Nathan is just staring at his hands and sees the letters mine tattooed across his fingers. He's thinking about when Fox had that hand wrapped around Morgan's throat when he was fucking her from behind. And he knows that Fox can see exactly what he just pictured in his head. And he like lifts his little eyebrow up and then fucking Nathan chokes on his own coffee because he's caught. And he just says, you know what? What's done is done. And Morgan says, on the bright side, at least he broke down near them. Morgan decided to share a little story about the fact that Fox also once passed out in the snow when they first started their business. And like there was a learning curve and lots of sleepless nights, and Fox got sick and he passed out at the sight of Morgan's blood once. They talk a little bit more about themselves. They also say we are called loggers. We learn Fox was in the military, and Nathan just tells them that they have an interesting life. And Morgan says, it's hard work, but we enjoy it. You know, it's still snowing and there's still a little bit of tension in the room. I say a little bit of tension, but there's a lot of tension. And Morgan just suggests, you know what? Why don't we go to the sauna? Because they have built a sauna up here. And Morgan says you are more than welcome to join. And if not, we have cards or books in the office if you're a reader. Sorry, there's like not more to do right now without the power.
Because their generator can only do so much.
Yes, exactly.
And they don't have internet.
No, it's boring with nothing. This man is going to join them in the sauna, by the way. When Morgan and Fox get behind the door, Fox is like, I'm sorry, the sauna? And Morgan's like, do you have a better idea? They kind of go back and forth. And the only other thing is like, Morgan is a little apprehensive a little bit about it. And she says, like, just because he watched them and is a little bit more comfortable does not mean he's actually interested with being with like both of them. And Morgan's trying to get Nathan to trust them. And Fox is like, look, I will let you take the lead on this, but he is interested. I just don't think he knows that yet. The question is, do you want to deny it? So Morgan has is apprehensive about it because they actually had a partner before Gabe,
Mm.
and Gabe actually ended up leaving and it broke their hearts. And, they do talk about the fact that having a third in their relationship is not a requirement. And they always check in with each other. Like this is actually very healthy that they do check in with each other to make sure it is still okay and that each other is happy separately. Having the third, it just has always felt right. It's not necessary, but over the years it did look a little different. And when Gabe was with them, you know, they thought that was it. That was it for them. But obviously, he left and he got super skittish. But they're going to go ahead and test the waters and see how Nathan feels about this.
Gabe was basically jealous that they were a married couple before him and couldn't get over his own
Insecurities.
insecurities regarding around that.
That and Fox is not a very open person. And that was
Right. And
also
that just
another, like,
kept piling it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I think that's what he used as an excuse, but
I think so too. And of course, that like fucks with Fox and everything as well. But yeah, Nathan's trying to figure out why the fuck he agreed to do this. And he's thinking, do they have tequila? Because like I could use a drink, maybe 10, and like maybe this is a really fucking dumb idea. And as they're walking, Morgan notices that he has a tattoo because, this man basically naked, though they would have seen it, I guess, if I don't know. I feel like they would have seen it before because they already
well,
got him
he
naked
makes a
before.
comment kind of like as if she's trying to be polite
Yeah.
by pretending
Yeah.
like she hadn't.
Morgan admits that they have a thing for body art. Do they now? Do you? Do you, Morgan? Because I muted myself for a second there. Morgan, do you? Do
Mhm.
you have a thing for body art? I think so. He is wondering what Morgan is planning. Like, is this normal? Something normal that they do on a Saturday, or like, are they gonna do something? We all know where this is going. So they head down to the mudroom into the sauna, and Morgan's like, "You can sit wherever you want." And Nathan also notices Fox's tattoo on his back, and the art is very interesting, and it's mostly forest, but then a river flowing downward, and it disappears beneath the towel. I would also be doing this. Staring down. Turns out Morgan actually is the one who tattooed Fox. Fox helps a little bit with the design, but she's the one who does it, and she
Mhm.
actually she tattoos other people in town, blah, blah, blah. So Fox sits on the lower bench and he spreads his legs, and the towel like just drops in between them. So he's still technically covered. And Nathan automatically snaps his head up from the crotch, like, because he's staring at this man's crotch and he's trying to like quell whatever thought is going through him. Like, he has never been interested in a man before, ever. Morgan tells him that they've been together for 21 years. So haven't we? No, we haven't. Yeah,
Almost.
almost 21 years, baby. They were high school sweethearts. We are high school sweethearts. Is this about us? No, it's not.
It's about us.
Oh my God.
It's
And then,
about trust.
oh my God. Jesus fucking
This
Christ.
episode is
A musical,
brought to you
partially
by Ariel's concert in her head.
by more ADHD. This is the
Yeah.
ADHD year. Fox went off to the military, and Morgan needed something to occupy her time. So like she did apprentice work, and then she ended up becoming a logger. And like I said, she does tattoo people in town sometimes, and she also has a degree with the forestry. So she does a lot of forestry work. They ask him what he does, and he goes, I worked in marketing, and actually I like quit right before I came here.
They're
And
like, oh shit.
they ask him if he enjoyed it, and he says, I actually like never really thought about it. Like, he liked surfing beforehand, but he couldn't make money in that. And they're like, you could do lessons. Like, okay. And then the conversation kind of turns a little bit, and he goes, I don't know, I'll figure it out. What I've been doing was not working for me. And Morgan calls him out and says, kind of sounds like you're talking a little bit more than just your job. And he goes, look, when I was in the snow, I just kept thinking that something was missing from my life. I don't know like what it was. I had a good job, easy life. I have friends, family. Something's just literally missing. And there's silence. And Morgan fills the space and says, something's missing. We understand. you never know what's going on beneath the surface of someone's life. And Morgan starts to trail up his forearm and gets a little suggestive. And Nathan looks over at Fox, fucking panicking because Fox's wife is touching him. But
He's a big dude.
he's terrifying. But he also doesn't want to like stop Morgan. And Morgan says, "Look, Fox and I understand you more than you think." He finally asks, "What do you both want from me?" And he's feeling nice and bold
What do you
about
want?
this. What do you want from me? Morgan says, "If you haven't noticed, my husband and I are a bit different. No fucking shit." And asks if she can kiss Nathan. Nathan's like, I don't understand. You're married.
Right. Like,
And Morgan says,
does not compute.
"We want you." And he's thinking, "Oh, we? Like,
Is
like
this
he
some
wants me
kind
too?
of
Whoa, what's going on
kind
here?"
of thing for the night? This is kind of, huh?
Yeah.
Are
And
you trying to pick me up?
right? Morgan says, like, look, Fox is not going to touch you unless you ask him to, which would lower the stress level. Nathan tells Morgan, like, this is new to me. I've never done anything like this before, and asks if they really want this. And Morgan says, only if you do. We realize that this is not something a lot of people do. And if you want us to walk out of this sauna and never speak of it again, we will. Like, you are in charge here. And then he just was like, okay, kiss me. And then it just evolves from there to the point that they keep checking in with him, which is really good. I appreciate that. And then he lets Morgan know that he does not have any limits on where she can touch and what she can do. And Morgan's like, that's a bit of a dangerous thing to say
Like, I don't think that's true.
because I like a lot of things and a lot of things that I don't think you're quite ready for.
Like you understand the question, sir.
Yep. And then Nathan notices that Morgan has a tattoo of yours across her knuckles. By the way, Morgan's a switch. You're welcome. Nathan asks her what she is thinking, and Morgan tells him that she wants to ride his face so that it's hard for him to breathe and to make it messy. And he just says, I'll do it. Morgan says, I'm so glad to hear that. But first, I want to see what's hiding under that towel with my mouth. And then if he wants her to stop, she will stop. He does not want her to stop, by the way. And Morgan ends up blowing him. And as she is blowing him, Fox is sitting on the sidelines, reading his facial expressions, and is also commanding things for him to say because he can see that Nathan's holding himself back. Like he wants to be more aggressive, but he's like won't do it. So he starts instructing Nathan what to do, and it's great. And it
Naughty,
gets really hot in this sauna,
naughty.
and then he ends up finishing in Morgan's mouth. But then he leaves in a panic because he doesn't know what the fuck they just did, and
Well,
Morgan's trying to
and he's never just aggressively took somebody like that. And he's
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
he's like fucking being really aggressive with it and he panics. And Morgan's trying to stop him because she can see the fucking panic in his eyes and he just says, "I'm so sorry." And then he leaves. And Morgan turns to her idiot husband and says, "I told you to let me take the lead." And now fucking Nathan's freaking out. Fox tells her that he needed the push, but Morgan's afraid that they went too far too quickly. And she's trying to understand why Fox felt the need to push him and why he feels so strongly about him. It's very clear that Nathan has never done anything like this before. And like, how does he know that he could be the right one for them? Fox is like, you just need to trust me. He's like, and trust your gut. Like, from what you've experienced with him, you can't tell me I'm wrong. Am I wrong? That keeps coming up, by the way. Morgan just doesn't want to get hurt again. And he says, look, I understand, but just like trust me to do for him what you did for me. So Morgan really like helped Fox channel all of his like all the stuff growing up into this moment. They really grew together as a couple, which is cute. Nathan is panicking, which I understand considering everything that just fucking happened, but like it's more so that all of these fantasies are just stuff he like never dreamed up before and he realizes, oh fuck, well he panicked and now he's embarrassed because he panicked. And he really did like it and he liked it a lot more than he should, but he
I
doesn't feel
liked
like
it. I liked
I
it a
liked it a
lot.
lot. And he's like, a blowjob shouldn't like change a person that much, but it was a really good blowjob. And he's never considered himself to be gay or bi, but he also never thought about it and never really had the opportunity to explore that. But he is open to the idea now. And he's kind of open to the idea of Fox. He's also open to the idea of Fox and Morgan. And it's just great. And he's realizing like maybe just maybe this was the missing piece. Like all the sex before was like fine originally, orgasms were fine, but it was never like it was in the sauna. And he just keeps thinking about the words that Fox told him because while they were in the sauna, Fox told him to use my wife's smart mouth. It's yours. And he's like turned on from that. And I get it. I get the spiral. Then Morgan is knocking on his door asking if he's okay, and he tells her that he's fine. Morgan tells him that she has made some mulled wine, and if he wants, he can join them by the fire. Morgan gets everything ready for when Nathan is out of the bathroom, and Morgan's like, she just wants to talk. They talk about Christmas, they talk about like snow, and then, Morgan's like, recent years, they haven't really gotten much of it, so they just like to play in it. Of course, that confuses Nathan a wee bit. And he's trying to imagine, like, oh, what kind of play are we doing? And Morgan is thinking, like, I can't tell this bitch really what's going on because, like, if he hadn't run out of the sauna, I would be more inclined to tell him what kind of play we do in the snow. But Morgan just says she wants to talk about what happened in the sauna, but not if he doesn't want to. She will stop. But despite how his time started out, they do want him to be comfortable. Morgan says that she understands what they did in the sauna was different, and she was not upset by what happened. Actually, she quite enjoyed it. And she would have stopped it if she hadn't. Nathan admits that he's never done something like that before. Morgan says, I am what people in my lifestyle would call a switch. I have both dominant and submissive tendencies, and with Fox, I love him to take control, and that there are very different layers and stuff to the kind of relationship that her and Fox have. And she admits that she likes Nathan. Nathan makes sure that he didn't actually hurt her when he was, getting aggressive.
Fucking her face.
Yeah, I did write fucking her face, but I figured he would say it. And she says, a little bit, but I really liked it. and, and I wanted it. And I know you may have tried to forget what you saw what happened between Fox and I in our bedroom, but did that look gentle? And he goes, that was the opposite. And she goes, that was tame. Morgan says, if I were to say that Fox and I were interested in playing with you more while you are here, would that be an option? Nathan asks, why him? Like, is it just because he's there and available? That is a fair question.
Yep.
Morgan says, no, we don't go around just asking people to have sex with us. Like I said,
Mean.
I like you. And while Fox is terrible using his words, he also likes you as well. And he wouldn't let us play together in the sauna if he didn't. She says, look, we've been together for a very long time. We know what we like and we get feelings about people, and Fox's instincts are incredible. Fox thought that you would be open to what we are offering and that you are compatible with us. And she kind of sees that he's just blinking at her. And she apologizes and says, "Look, I'm so sorry. Like that was a lot. Like I can be a lot. Do you want to eat anything? Like I would also be like, okay, that was so much words." Nathan stops her and says, "You're not a lot. You're just the right amount." Like I said, I've never done anything like this before. If it's everything you're saying, like everything I'm feeling right now, it's all new, and all of a sudden my brain just doesn't know what to think. If I were to say I'd be willing to see what happens when I'm here, what is the expectation? Like, is this a fling? Am I just a fun game for you? And Morgan says, there's no expectations, and you're not a game. We're happy to see where things go if you are, of course. Please. Morgan really wants Nathan to understand that Fox is okay with them being close. Like, they're okay. Her husband's not a jealous man. And like they kind of want to start with a clean slate. And Fox says, yes, he fucking scares the shit out of Nathan because he just comes up out of nowhere. Nathan says like, "But what if I don't want to start over?" And Morgan and Fox both look at him, and Fox asks what he wants. And Nathan says, "I want to explore more, but I don't know what that looks like. I don't understand how all of this works, and I don't know what to say or do. Like, it feels so overwhelming." So they agree that they are going to lay down some boundaries and set the pace. They let him know that they've both been tested. And Nathan's like, "I didn't even think of that." But I'm tested too. I'm good. They try to see what his hard limits are, what kind of porn he's watched, like if he likes pain, really try to gauge everything. And they come to the conclusion that Nathan could also be a switch. But he does like to be a little bit more submissive because like he really likes to take direction. And Fox tells him, "I'm gonna give you a couple options." And Nathan says, "What if I don't like the options?" Fox goes, "I think you like them if you can keep your mouth shut so that I can speak." And Nathan's body responds to this, and Fox catches that. He goes, "We can either keep talking or you can get on your knees and lick my greedy little lamb's cunt clean." And guess what? That's exactly what Nathan's gonna do. And honestly, every time that Fox speaks to him, he gets a little bit turned on because he just keeps thinking to himself while he's on his knees, like, dude, imagine being on my knees sucking Fox's cock. Like his brain just instantly goes there. And he's like, "I'm gonna do whatever Fox says." And then so he's gonna eat her out. He also fingers her as well. And he's like getting all the fingers in there. We're not quite at the fisting part yet, but guess what? That does eventually happen. All the fingers in there. Well, she's like, "Just keep going, keep adding more." Fox continues to check in on her. And then like after she finally comes, he also checks on her to make sure she's okay. And Morgan says, "He is amazing." Then Fox looks at Nathan and he doesn't really know how to act because like Fox shouldn't be participating beyond barking orders. And he's thought more than once about how it would be to touch Fox and like have Fox touch him. Nathan is thinking all these things. And the more he explores with Morgan, the more he starts to think like, would it be really okay with Fox? Like, and Fox shifts so that he can start trailing a hand on Morgan's thighs. So, by the way, Morgan has come, but Nathan's hands are still in her. They're still in her. I wrote lady bits because I wanted to. They're still in her vagina, in her pussy. Does that work for you? I hate that word so much. I don't know. I don't know why I said it, but okay. And Fox questions with his eyes if he can touch Nathan. And Nathan just nods. And Fox grabs his wrist and then pulls his hand from Morgan. And then Fox tells him to look at him. And then Fox licks Nathan's fingers and sucks them clean. Morgan asks Nathan if he
Nathan
wishes
finds
to.
this very hot.
Oh, yes. He finds everything Fox does hot. Honestly, most things that Fox does is kind of hot. So, like, I get it. I get it. Morgan asks Nathan if he wishes to continue, and he says, "Yes, please." She just says, "Okay, then. Let's take care of my husband." Fox tells him, "I'm going to give you options again. Either you go back to the couch and sit there like a good boy, and I'll show you how to properly face fuck my wife, or you will join my wife on your knees like a good little whore and do as you're told." What do you think Nathan chooses to do? Nathan chooses to be a good whore and gets on his knees. And honestly, it's such a beautiful sight to Fox because now he's got, as he says, two bitches on their knees for him. He's not wrong. Fox instructs Nathan to kiss Morgan, so they make out. Fox double checks to make sure he wants to continue, and he tells Nathan to take his cock out. And Nathan just says, "Yes, sir." Nathan is very compliant with all this. Nathan really wants this. He really wants Fox, and he wants Morgan, and he wants to experience whatever the fuck this is. And as he takes his cock out, guess what? His cock Beautiful. And guess what?
It's pierced. And I was
Which is
like, oh,
fantastical.
look at that.
Look at
Look at
that.
that.
It's not a ladder, but it's still pierced. And that's all that matters.
Still pierced.
It's still pierced.
Still pierced.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
Mm.
just sit here for a moment and think about
Moment
it.
of silence for the piercing.
Okay, Fox wants Morgan to show Nathan what Fox likes and how he likes to be touched. And as Nathan watches Morgan stroke him, Nathan asks if he can try it. So he starts to work Fox, and then Fox tells him to use his leg to get himself off, but do not come until Fox does. And the same thing goes for his wife. And then they all come together, and I love that for them. Come together right now on Fox's leg. Yep. As when they all come down, Fox asks if everyone is all good, and he just says, "Yeah, yeah, I'm good." Fox says, "Okay, we are just getting started, but first we should eat and clean up." And asks if he likes steak for dinner. After dinner and a nap, Fox wakes up, and while he loves cuddling his wife, the last time he cleared the snow was this morning, so he is thinking he's going to go do that. Fox sits down at the kitchen table and starts to have some tea. And he just thinks about Nathan and how Nathan had done so much more than he expected him to, even going as far as to get himself off in his leg. And then the thought strikes him that Nathan would be spending the holiday with them. And this is kind of a day that's a big deal, which duh, it is. It's Christmas. It's big to them, okay? It's not big to everybody.
It's April, Crystal.
It's Christmas in April that Ariel chose, bitch. His thoughts are interrupted by Nathan saying that he couldn't sleep, and they just sit there in silence. And Nathan really just says, "You don't talk much." And he goes, "Like I said, I speak when I need to." And Nathan goes to leave because clearly, like, Fox is just silent. And Fox wraps a hand around his wrist and says, "Stay." And then Fox just opens up about himself and his time in the military. And then by the end of it, Nathan says, "Maybe if the snow lets up, you and Morgan could teach me how to chop wood." And it's kind of like he's giving a "I want to stick around" vibe and not just "leave when the snow is gone" vibe. But then he asks Fox, "Listen, that was like the first time I ever touched a man. How did it feel for you the first time you were with a
For
man?"
the very first time.
Fox tells him it was very freeing. Nathan says, "Did you always know that you liked men and women?" And Fox says, since I was a teen, but Morgan did help me realize it was more than okay that I did." And they just bond. And then they bond some more when Nathan asks Fox to kiss him. And Fox says, "No, but you can kiss me." And then they're making out. And before they can get too far, because Fox wants Morgan to be there, Fox ends the kiss and says, "We're going to bed. My wife is probably cold without us." And then they go up and cuddle. And Nathan feels great. And it's not just because he had one of the best kisses of his life, but he's just finally allowing himself to be who he is. And it's so great. Fox asks him, how far does he want to take this? And Nathan says, how far do you want to take this? And Fox is like, we're going to make my wife feel really good together. Do you understand? And he says, I understand. And Morgan, by the way, is thinking she's dreaming of being on a really nice beach and it's really warm. But no, she's not. What's actually happening is Nathan is eating her out while she is sleeping. And Fox informs her that they've come to an agreement. And Morgan says, "Oh, what kind of agreement?" And they start to tease her, and she realizes that the two of them are going to use her together. And Nathan asks her if she has a safe word. By the way, it's unicorn. And she tells them to give it to her.
Give
Fox
it
tells
to me, baby.
Nathan Fox tells Nathan to blindfold Morgan. So they do. And they pull her towards the edge of the bed. They also ball gag her, But they give her the deep throat gag, which is a small penis shaped dildo with a ball on the opposite end that will force her to not only suck a cock that isn't real, but her lips will remain wide around the ball the whole time. Fox does tell her that if it's too much, she knows what to do. And Fox tells her to roll on her belly. Nathan puts a plug in her ass. It's a vibrating plug, by the way. And she is just dripping wet because she wants everything they are given to her. Also, they set her up with a spreader bar and keep checking in with her to make sure she is doing okay. Then Fox tells Nathan to use her, or if he would rather, Fox can tie him up and Nathan can join her. Nathan's actually kind of a little bit interested in that, but he doesn't. But right now, he doesn't want to be tied up. He wants to just accept
I'm all
what
tied
Fox
up.
and Morgan are offering. They end up spit roasting her. And honestly, Fox watching Nathan fuck his wife is a moment he wishes he could just have photographed in his mind. Like, just. And Morgan just continues to beg to be used, and they fuck her until they come. Afterwards, Nathan thanks them for showing him that it's not wrong. They fall asleep, and when Nathan wakes up, something heavy is on his waist, and he feels like he's sweating to death. Him and Fox have Morgan wedged between them. They're all like in a cute little cuddle pile, and she is curled into his chest. He wants to know more about them. Yeah. Like in his brain, he's just thinking about the fact that like he's so honored Fox shared like a big part of his life, but there's so much he also doesn't know. And he also thinks about what they all just did together and how he would gladly love to experience that every day if given the opportunity. And this really like sends him. So he just decides to indulge in this vision of like what a life with them would be like. He could live in Starlight Haven and he could wake up, have breakfast with them every day, then go to dinner with his family. And then there's like the sex and intimacy thing that he could have with them. And he's just thinking, he doesn't think he can ever go back to the idea of driving away from there and pretending as if this weekend never happened. And as he's thinking, Fox just says, "Stop thinking so goddamn loud." And they all just go back into a cuddle puddle. The next time they all wake up, Morgan and Nathan are painting their nails. It's very cute, by the way. I love them, like little do like bonding time. Fox apparently had to go into the office, claiming that he needed to radio the city to see if they had a timeline for power to be on and the roads to be cleared. And Nathan's just reading through a book and asks, "What's primal?" And Morgan just says, "Keep reading.
Morgan thought she
You'll
would like
figure it out."
Morgan thought he would like one of her MM shifter romance books to
Yeah.
read.
He's like, "I'm also just trying to figure out the whole breeding kink thing. Like, isn't that just human nature?" And then they discuss children, and we learn that Fox and her have spoken about maybe one day if their business slows down and it feels right. But the other factor they have is having a partner, and they have to be okay with raising them with three parents. Morgan asks if Nathan wants kids, and he just says, "I don't know. I thought I did, but I've begun to wonder if it's just another thing that I should just have because I was told it was part of the plan." Fox comes in and Nathan tells him that he should sit with them. And they have this cute little moment where Fox sits down on the couch and like Nathan sits between his little legs. Not his little legs. He's a big man. He's not a little man. And they
Those
discuss more
tiny
of
baby
their
man feelings.
yeah. They discuss more of their history together as a couple. And it's really cute. And Morgan just says, "All right, let's go make this cabin look like Christmas." They have Christmas music blaring and they all start dancing and it's adorable. And then it gets really hot. And all Nathan can think about is that he wishes that they were naked doing this instead. I mean, they could. And his mind is already imagining what they would look like dancing and grinding on each other with the glow of Christmas lights, which gives him an idea. And he tells them, "You said that I interrupted you guys getting a Christmas tree. If you don't mind me joining, let's go get one." And they explain that the choice of the Christmas tree is they chase, well, like Fox chases her. And when Fox inevitably catches Morgan, the tree that is closest to them, because they fuck, gets cut down. And it's like a little trophy. And Nathan thinks it's a little twisted, but it's actually kind of awesome at the same time. And he's like, "Okay." And they make sure that's really what he wants to do. And they say yes. But now here's the thing: Nathan thinks it's going to be Fox chasing the both of them. Turns out, though, Morgan and Fox are going to chase Nathan down. And by the way, this man having an absolute fucking blast with this shit. And every step he puts on the ground, he feels he's just like
And he takes the
He
branches
has
and
a
he
plug in his
tries to
ass.
cover his tracks.
It's so cute. He tries to cover his
He
tracks. He's got a
tries, the poor baby man
I
tries, and
know.
he does not do very well, but he tries.
He tries and he's got a plug in his ass because as soon as they hunt him down, Fox is made it
Gonna
clear
take
he is
him.
going to fuck him.
Whoever's,
Um,
yeah, whoever he's hunting, he's taken.
yep. Yeah, but Nathan having a fucking grand old time. He finally sees the outline of a hunting cabin and he thinks that hiding there might be obvious, but maybe that'll work for him and they might think he wouldn't be so stupid to go there. Turns out they absolutely knew he was going to do that. And they and they catch him and he hears Morgan say, "That's the tree." And they start kissing and then he is being flipped over before Fox's boot inches down his sternum and steals his breath. And Morgan says, "Don't be embarrassed. Maybe next time you won't do the obvious." And before he can even think about it, his pants are being pulled off and his bare ass hits the cold snow. And then Fox starts to blow him. Okay. And then Fox takes the plug out of his ass and tells them that he will come when he tells them to. And then Morgan starts to work his cock and Fox starts to finger his ass to prep him. And then Fox fucks him while Morgan works his dick. And Morgan, by the way, is super fucking into this. And they start making out while Fox is still pounding into him. And Nathan is getting really close. And he tells him that he's going to come. And he just says, "Please, please, please. I can't hold it." Fox then takes his hand with the tattoo and chokes him and says, "Come." Okay. Sounds great. After they're done, he asks, "What about the tree?" And Morgan says, "Don't worry. We'll get the tree." The tree does end up in their house. And it's perfect. And now it feels like Christmas. And they're all sitting there. They're happy. And Nathan's looking over at Fox. And he just, like, Fox is having a great time and he smiles. And then Nathan just says, "You look so beautiful when you smile." And Fox, a little bit taken aback. And his heart just kind of stops in his chest a little bit because Morgan has seen him smile before, but he doesn't really smile much anymore. And he knows that Morgan wishes that he would. And mostly make sure he could express emotions, but he just can't because it makes him vulnerable. Nathan now starts to fucking worry because, like, all this. And Morgan is like, "It's okay." Fox is spiraling because of everything that happened with Gabe. And Nathan says, "I'm sorry. You're a very handsome and scary lumberjack. Please forgive me." Fox just tells Nathan, "I'll think about it. I mean, I could be persuaded to forgive you. Depends on the method of persuasion." Then Nathan says, "Hey, so that contraption you have in your room from the other night, like, can Morgan Lee face up on it?" Morgan freezes, and Fox says, "Yes. Why?" Nathan says, "I have something I'd like to try." So they're gonna go try, and Morgan doesn't know what's gonna be happening. She did expect to get action that night, but she did not expect to be strapped down to the stockade that, Fox ordered for her and laid out like a fucking sacrificial lamb.
Dressed
Well,
up like a turkey.
yeah. Nathan says, "Someday I'd like to watch the two of you together again." And Morgan asks what he's going to do. And Nathan says, "Fox is gonna, teach me how to do something that I imagined doing yesterday." What is it that they're going to be doing? Well, they are going to have Nathan fist her. And that is what they do. And then he fucks her really hard while fisting her. And Morgan comes a lot. I'm just going to say, no, thank you.
I mean,
Ariel, do you have a opinion?
to each their own.
To me, no, thank you. All set. When Morgan finally wakes up, she's trying to figure out why she woke up feeling like something was wrong. By the way, not her vagina that feels wrong. Just the feelings.
Solid.
She heads out to the kitchen and sees that Fox is out there. And Fox starts telling her, like, we need to be realistic. Like, he doesn't know if Nathan is right for them. And Morgan's trying to call him out on his bullshit and is like, "You're sabotaging this before it even has time to grow because you're scared." And that like Nathan is incredible and she is not going to let the fear of letting him like in do this to them. Like she doesn't want it to destroy them like what happened with Gabe. And she explains that Gabe had his reasons for leaving, but at the end of the day, we are both at fault. You couldn't let him in fully and I didn't push you on it. Fox is concerned that he doesn't want Morgan to get hurt, but realistically it's they both will get hurt if this ends badly. And they really need to see where Nathan's head is at and if he wants to go further with them. He tells Morgan that, like, he just doesn't belong here. Guess who overhears him saying that? Nathan. And he just tells them, I will see you in the morning, and turns around.
No, he's
And
like, I'll go to the guest room. I'll
yeah.
see you. Yeah.
Oh, Fox, baby. Why?
And he
Why are
just
you
goes
like,
to the guest room.
yeah. Morgan tells Fox, you didn't
She
even mean that.
mad.
Oh, she pissed. And Fox says, even if I didn't, it's better this way. And Morgan says, look, I love you and I will do anything for you, but please do not let Nathan walk out of this cabin thinking that you do not want him here because I know that you do. Do you remember the one time that that cheerleader told you that I was too much? And what did you say to me? You said, someone's too much is someone else's just right. And I am your just right. And what if Nathan is too? Now go fucking talk to him. And of course, Nathan is just thinking that, God damn it, like, what the hell? Like, he doesn't belong here. Fox's words are just going through his head, and he just hates the idea of leaving and driving back down the mountain to his real life. And he was loving being in this bubble with them. And then he gets a knock on his door, and it's Fox asking if he can speak to
Come
him.
and knock on my door.
Come and knock on your door. It
Be
is kind of like Three's Company,
you.
isn't it? Fox is asking if he can speak to him, and that he did not mean for Nathan to hear all of that. But he's also really not good at feelings. And Nathan caught him in a very weak moment, but he needs to understand that if he is in a relationship with them, he is not always going to be able to express himself. But they do want him and they respect him. But Nathan just says like he needs time. Like
I need time.
with I need time. It is time. It is not time
I
yet.
changed it. I need time.
So with that decision, sex is currently off the table for the rest of the time that Nathan is there. But they end up exchanging gifts on Christmas. It's cute. Morgan has like this little piece of paper. We do learn at some point what the paper is. But
It's
at
a
the time,
coupon, but we don't know what it is for.
yet. And Nathan gets a little wolf carved. It's so cute. So they call him Little
Carving.
Wolfie. That carving, whatever.
A little wolf carved.
And it's really cute. And then a car shows up, and it is Nathan's ride back to his sister's house. And he makes sure that Morgan is going to be okay. And Fox assures him that she is a strong woman and she will be okay. And Nathan thanks them for showing him that there is nothing wrong with him. Does that sound like the end of the book? It's not. It's the end of my notes, though. Nathan's sister is very curious as to what the fuck happened up on the mountain and that he is very different. And he goes, well, I quit my job. And she goes, yeah, well, no, keep going. Cabin, tell me what the fuck happened. And he goes, are you sure that you want to know this? And she goes, oh, it's that kind of something. And he explains to his sister that, I mean, he has determined that he is bisexual. And in his brain, he's just thinking, like, God, fuck it. I already miss these people. It's been 6 days since everything. And his sister was like, I mean, I was not expecting that, but I mean, I thought the nail polish you had on was odd, but like you said you got bored. Like, and he's like, a man wearing nail polish doesn't mean he's queer. And she goes, no, 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 no. Like, it's fine. And she goes, look, I don't really understand what happened, but like, you're my brother. I'm cool with this. Sounds fabulous. And she's trying to reassure him that, like, I love you. Because I think he's really thinking that she would be disappointed. Same thing with the family. And she is really reiterating that, look, sometimes things get complicated. You don't have to always just love one person. Love is love. And he goes, I wouldn't say this is kind of like love. This is complicated. And his sister's like, does it have to be complicated though? And he is just like going through it because now he's jobless. He found out he's bisexual. He loves multiple people. His whole entire life has just completely turned around. And
Turn around.
every now and then I fall apart.
Nathan's falling apart.
He is literally
His
falling
life's
apart.
falling
Falling
apart.
apart. But honestly, like his sister Lindsay is really trying to tell him like this, it's a kind of complicated and asking if he's spoken with them. And he goes, well, no, I asked him to give me time. And she goes, do you really want time? And he realizes, no, he doesn't. And she goes, then why the fuck are you sitting here with me? Like,
It is New
go get
Year's Eve. Go.
go get your fucking people. And that's what he's gonna go to. And I love this. And Morgan and Fox are kind of going through it and like they're like, it's been 6 days and they miss him and they really talk and Fox apologizes and says like I should have listened to you.
No. And then,
A
of all
man
people,
admitting,
Fox is going to be the one to be like, no, let's go get him. Because, like,
yeah,
wait,
it's so funny
I
because
was like,
like
hmm,
that's what I said. I was like, Fox baby, what are you doing?
sir.
Yeah. But yeah,
I think
they're
he
like,
also just felt really guilty.
yeah. He's like, listen, he might turn us down, but like,
Let's go
we
try.
gotta fucking try. And as they're leaving, guess who shows up at the door? Nathan. And he goes, you were leaving? They're like, we're coming to get you. And they're just so happy that he's there. And he goes, Nathan just goes, hold on a second. You guys were coming to get me. What happened to time? And Fox is like,
Yeah.
time's up.
You were
Time's
supposed to
up.
give me the space that I asked for.
Yeah. Yeah. And they admit that like they haven't felt right since he left. And Morgan decides she is going to cash in on her Christmas
Her
gift.
coupon
An act of submission.
from
And
Fox.
from Fox is on his knees.
So she asks to use it for Nathan.
And I love this. And Fox is literally
So now
crawling
she's
on
going to be
the
bossy.
floor.
She's going to be the one in charge. She's going to be the dominant one, but she's going to
And
tell him what
also
to do to
Nathan.
Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They're going to tag team it.
they are going to, and I love this so much. It's great. And Fox blows him. Then Morgan's gonna sit on Nathan's face or Fox's face. I'm here. She just says, I'm gonna sit on your face. I love this. Anyways, they fuck. Love all of this. Love them. And they're back happy together. And then we get an epilogue. It starts off thinking that it's gonna be dirty because it's like stop squirming or we're strapping you down. Literally,
Oh, I knew
Nathan's
exactly
getting a
what they were
tattoo.
doing the minute it started.
For a
I
second,
may
it took
not
me
have
out
known
of
how the book started, but I knew how that blog started.
no. Nathan's actually just getting a tattoo, and
He's getting hours tattooed on
he's
his
getting
knuckles.
ours tattoo and
On his fingers, yeah.
the wedding band.
Yes.
And they ask him to marry them after they already tattooed the wedding band, which is a wild
Well,
thing.
he's like,
And
really? Sure thing? What
they
if I had
are
said no?
going, yep. And then they're going to go chase.
They're
And
going to
they
go
just
have
say,
their Christmas tradition of finding a Christmas tree.
but this time it is two being
Fox is going to chase both.
them both.
Right.
I love it. They're so cute. I love
Yeah.
them.
So the
Any
second
whistles.
book is Nathan's sister. She's going to find a
Interesting.
lumbersnack of her own. And
Ooh.
yeah, they turned Nathan into a lumberjack because, he quit his job and he's like growing out his beard. He's like, he actually took to life very well and he's actually increased their revenue of their business like in double. And so Morgan calls him her little lumbersnack.
It's so great. I love it so much.
So yeah, Lindsay's gonna find a lumbersnack of her own.
Can't wait for that. Who was your favorite?
Probably Fox.
I liked Fox, and honestly, I did actually like Lindsay. She was very, very supportive. And I
Yeah.
thought that was important.
Yeah. What about
Who was
your
your least
least
favorite?
favorite?
Gabe.
Yeah.
He caused a
Or
lot of trauma.
what was her name? Janet? Garrett? Karen? I don't remember now. The bitch from the beginning. that I never
Kathy?
came back around. Kathy.
I had to
I
think like
thought that was going to come back around.
I
I
thought so
thought
too.
like it was going to be,
I
yeah,
actually
a
originally
whole
thought
thing.
that Kathy was going to be the one at first. I
Oh.
know, right? It was weird. I thought it was gonna be some weird like enemies to lovers things because I be real, I did not read the description before
Clearly
I dived
nobody
in.
did.
No, clearly neither one of us did. Because
Oh, it
we
said
fucking
Lumbersnack. Let's go.
yeah. So Amazon gives us a 4.4 and Goodreads a 4.2.
What did you rate it?
I gave it a 4. I had a good time. Had a good time.
I had a great time too. I actually rated this a 4.5. And
Ooh.
yes, and I actually really enjoyed this book. I just felt that it was a little too short. So there was a few things that needed to be furthered.
Hmm.
And it was a little too instant for my liking. And
But it's
if it
also a
had,
novella, kind of. Yeah.
it's
300 pages.
just under 300 pages. Yeah. I wish it had been expanded on for me.
Yes.
But I will have to say, I've had a pretty dry year. So that is the highest rating I've done all year.
And this is the wettest she's been. You said you had a pretty dry year.
And I'm out. All right, peppers, Crystal.
You had to know that was coming, Ariel. You said this was a dry year for you, and I said this is the way.
Peppers, Crystal.
I don't know. I don't even have the pepper scale in front of me anymore. I don't know where it is. I
It's in
lost
the
it.
wheel
I don't
spreadsheet.
know. Nope, I'm gonna stop talking now.
No spreadsheet for you.
Spread your sheets. I'm sorry, I'm done. Okay, so I would go with, I was honestly gonna go with either a Serrano or a Cayenne.
I am stuck either in, yeah, I was going with cayenne. I was even maybe going with cayenne and a half, honestly, because we had a lot of different kind of thingies going on.
And
So
yeah,
cayenne, I'm gonna go
that's,
with cayenne.
I'll go with Cayenne.
Is that our
Um,
spiciest book this year so far?
it is, yeah, so far.
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
know because
I know,
Crystal
I'm
keeps
stuck.
forgetting.
I do, yeah.
I offered to print them many times, but Crystal wants to do it on her
It's
fancy
okay.
machine.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Well, because I want to put them on the stickers
I know,
so we
because
can,
that'd be easy to just, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it is. So there was double penetration. There was MM.
Fisting.
Well,
There's
there was
MM.
the fisting. There was apparently a fuck machine in there.
Yep.
There was ball gags. There was
Oh yeah.
interesting ball gags. There was a lot.
A lot of stuff.
So
Yep.
it was, yeah, it was good. I had a great time. I thought it was fabulous. The fact that there was
I
actual
would, so
sword
I'm gonna,
crossing is what made me happy.
yeah.
That was happy. There was a lot. There was a lot. It was a lot. And that no, that is like the spiciest book we've had so far this year, and we are in April. So
Hmm.
we need more. Anyways,
Survivability.
I'd be fine. I'd
Yes.
be living my damn life.
So next time on Lumbersnack April, we are going in the unhinged direction, and we are happening upon a clan. We're happening upon a clan of bears, shifter bears, that work as lumberjacks.
Yeah. And this is not the same thing as the bear chipmunk one we did.
Don't worry, I'm not doing that one. Crystal is.
Yeah, I get to do all the unhinged ones, so you're
Yeah.
welcome. Alrighty. And with that, that is the end of our first special of the month of Lumber Snack April, and we hope that you enjoyed it. If
Yes,
not,
and don't
too
worry
bad.
because next month we actually know what we're reading ahead of time, so we aren't scrambling.
Absolutely.
Make sure to keep reading.
And keep it smutty. Anyways, welcome to Lumber Snap. Lumber. Wow. Oh my God. I can't speak. Lumbersnack April, and yes.
Starting strong.
So, anyways, Axe's nose, which is in the Starlight. Is Starlight Haven really right? Starlight.
How about I just read the
I got it.
description?
I got it.
For the
I got it.
beginning?
So I'm just gonna do what Ariel says.
And she's ruining every single clip I have.
I am. You're welcome. Anyways, picture this. Picture being snowed
We were both
in,
butt naked,
banging on the bathroom floor. Anyways. Guys, just so you know, Ariel edited the last episode, and apparently it took us 30 minutes to get to the point. And a fox. I mean, a fox, I guess, but not really.
What does the fox say? Ding, 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 ding.
When Nathan asks Fox to kiss him. God, all those syllables in a row, man. He is getting yours.
Ours.
I'm sorry. Why did I say yours? I don't know. He's getting yours tattooed.
Nope, he's getting ours.
Why did I do it again?